My parents described his capturing as if America had finished the war and came home with a victory. There was a huge sigh of relief and stress relief on his back. Southern California was finally cured. Some questions were raised to why it took so long to finally cure him, to finally find him. They found him, and that's what matters. He was sentenced to death after considering all his accounts, and how sad our legal system works, because he's still alive in San Quentin as he waits in death row as he waits for appeal to be ended. After he was sentenced, the police, these were his final words as he was being escorted by the police into San Quentin. He said, "Big deal, death is always with the territory." He also told reporters, and this is one of the most horrifying and remembered quotes that scarred California, saying, "I'll see you in Disneyland." Thank you.
So Donald, what did you think?
I really liked his attention to device. He painted a really good picture with, how would you feel about the little girl, all that. It was really involving. He had a very nice quality. He was very clear with his descriptions and points. I really liked how he tied in a lot of the events of the Night Stalker with what was going on with his grandparents, or how they were feeling, how they reacted. I felt that the pentagram slide was a little bit random with the descriptions of what it was. It didn't feel like it was tying in with much other than who's the face worshiper, and
All right. I like the introduction. The visualization that you have is pretty good. Very clear topic identification. Your phrasing on the thesis, though, is a little bit awkward. And you set up the contents adequately, but I think you need a stronger division of that material, because when you get into it, it basically just becomes a chronology of the events that happened there. A timeline might have been an effective way of reducing how much you'd have to describe all those things, or maybe just recapping a couple of the incidents and then counting them up instead of going through the whole time sequence. It seemed to me to be a little repetitive after you got into that. I think the background information at first is okay. You need to cite the sources on that. The first citation comes when the first murder actually takes place. If you wanted to talk about the stuff that happened before the murders, and then talk about the period of time that the murders was going on, and then maybe talk about the point from after he was captured, or maybe capture the last point of the speech, that would give it, I think, a little bit sharper structure. As it was, it just seemed when you were in the speech that you were going from incident to incident to incident to incident, and it gets to be a little redundant. The pacing is a little awkward. It's an 11-minute speech, so you're 3 minutes over time. So clearly there needs to be some big editing that's going on. I agree that the personal point of view is something that adds to the speech, the experience that your family had, knowing some of the victims, and the perspective on that. That definitely makes it interesting. I was here when all that stuff was going on, and I remember all that, so it's an intriguing subject. The visuals are okay. The pentagram, I'm glad I didn't have to look at the picture in blood on the wall. That's probably something that we should be relieved about. I don't know how much it adds. I think the contrast, I think you could have contrasted, for instance, the police sketches with the actual photograph a little bit more deliberately, and then we could see how close it actually was, because it does look pretty close. The chronology of the events where he was captured, I think, needs to be clarified a little bit more. All right, thank you.